Isiak at center ice. Isiak walks over the line, left it for Sutter, the shot, he scores! Hawks win! Hawks win! Darryl Sutter does it again! For the second time in this series, Sutter scores in overtime!
You know what, Bob, I was really lucky because I was only played for one team and was never traded. So I was in the organization and I did it the whole way. Through the farm team, through the big team, became a captain, retired before I wanted to. You know, I was only 28 or 29 years old, whatever the heck it was. But I got to stay as an assistant coach the next year, and then I got to go coach the farm team, and then I got to come back and be the head coach of the big team. So, but I was a Blackhawk. There's no place like the old stadium in the Oregon.
That's right.
There's no place like it. It gives me shivers even saying it. I used to just hope that I'd get to start in Chicago Stadium, take those 21 steps up the ice and just open that gate and let's go. Right? Like, that was awesome.
Right.
I still like,
Is.
if you could get the players to just see that and feel that the way it was incredible.
Yeah. Now, you said you retired before you wanted to. What caused that?
I had torn 2 ligaments in this knee, and I had both shoulders operated on. I didn't play that much as that, it seemed like all you're doing is sticking needles in you and getting froze up all the time. And I remember he calling me out partway through the year and he goes, you got to start thinking about doing something different here. And I want to keep you in the organization. I was heartbroken because you want to play. And that was tough.
This would not be the only time Darryl Sutter would have to make the difficult decision to step away from hockey. Following Darryl's 3rd season as head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks, his son Chris was born with a form of Down syndrome called trisomy 21, a disorder that impacts a child's mental and physical development. Darryl and his wife Wanda were told that Chris probably wouldn't live long, and if he did, he would most likely have to spend his life in an institution. They were told that they were best off giving Chris up and letting the state take care of him. For Darryl and his wife, this wasn't an acceptable option.
When Christopher, our son, was born in Chicago, we came home and he was born. I remember going to Mr. Wirtz and Bob Pulford that spring and said, we're going to take Chris back to the farm. And so I'd crossed that bridge once already. We just said, we'll get through the first 3 to see how it is, and then see where he's at, and then that's when we made the call. Okay, we're taking him back to the farm. We just want to be with him and let him become a normal boy, and that's what we did.
Right.
Watch this one. One lap.
I remember telling him, it was the second win, and I told my wife, I said, you know what, I think I want to go back. And then when we went to San Jose, one of the biggest reasons we went to San Jose was obviously it was Dean and then lots of good young players. And then the next part was California was an awesome place for special needs at that time, and probably still are. And Chris was young, and we knew our other children could, they wouldn't have a problem at all in California, and that was a big reason that we went to San Jose. And then when we went back to Calgary, my brother Brian and I had always worked with a gentleman in Calgary to raise money for a special school for. In the summers, we always did it.
Really?
And that's where Chris ended up being part of. So it's almost like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And so it was, and now he's old enough where, he's part of the team. And even Kopi was, just asked me yesterday if Chris, how come Chris hasn't been around lately? Because that's how he is. He gets in with the guys.
That's good. That's good, Angie. That's good. Yeah. Yo! Go. That's it, you guys.
In his 2nd year with the club, Darryl Sutter took the Flames to the Stanley Cup final, but he fell just short in a Game 7 loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Following that season, Darryl Sutter also assumed the duties of general manager, but after 2 seasons of filling both roles, the task became too much, and Darryl stepped away from coaching. After unsuccessfully trying to replace himself with Jim Playfair and later Mike Keenan, Darryl turned to his brother Brent.
Was there ever any second thought at times when you hired your brother to be coach? How's this relationship going to work out?
You know what, it's something that it's obviously people talk about it, right? Because I've coached all my brothers except Brian. I coached them all, and he had the same rule. When you're at the rink, you're at the rink.
Yeah.
And when you're not at the rink, then your brothers again. Because I was let go in Calgary, everybody made a big deal out of Brent and Darryl, but you know what? Nobody really knows them. It's none of their business.
Yeah.
Because that's how our family is. We're very private, and we take care of each other. That's what we do.
So in the forecheck, you just want to walk through it. Make sure you remember what you're doing. Defense, get strong side. Keep your guy high on the first one. Remember, it's off a forecheck, right? F2 and 3, recognizing when they can take the wall and when they can't take the wall, so we're not getting beat.
Darryl never reached his ultimate goal of a Stanley Cup with the Calgary Flames. And when he resigned from his GM position in 2010 and returned to the farm in Viking, Alberta, it seemed as if his hockey days were now behind him.
When you talk about the game and getting to the rink and being behind the bench and the time you were as a player, is that enthusiasm you had early on in your career still there, or has some of it waned a little bit? And
I think you channel different things in your life and figure out what's important as you get older. But to me, this is still really important, and I love it. As long as that passion's there, right? You want to be the very best, and that's why you're still doing it.
Look for him. That's it. Yo. That's it. Yeah.
We all went on the ice and gave Dad a big hug, and then Chris went straight for the cup and lifted it right on the ice. So it was pretty cool thing to watch for sure.